after those like 5 shots of espresso.
Yeah. Leveled you out.
Hello, can you hear me out there?
Hello.
We got a new episode.
Hello, Clarice.
Hello. We are here with the very special Soultru, Terrance Banks, and good friend, manager, Brett Kremer,
Who's
aka
that?
Riplak.
Oh, I know that guy.
How you guys doing?
Great. How you doing?
Good, thanks for being here.
Not a problem.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course, of course.
We finally got to do it instead of rescheduling.
Yes,
like
we're finally in
2
here.
times.
It's going
All that
down.
ice and snow slowing everybody up.
Crippling everybody's momentum.
Hell yes. So as you may know, Soultru is a singer. How would you describe your shit? Just R&B, soul?
I call it soul hip hop.
Soul hip hop.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Now, what's new with you guys? What you been doing?
Man, we just been working, like working on like this tour, like February 28th going out. I'm gonna hit. Me and Colton are gonna go out. He's gonna do what he did last night: piano and acoustic guitar. And, go up to Iowa City 28th, and then Indianapolis that Friday, Nashville Saturday. Spend a couple days there checking stuff out, and then drive up to Chicago for a So Far Sounds on Tuesday, and then head back down to Memphis for this radio interview and / performance that we're gonna do down there, and then replacing the Omaha date with something else. Otherwise, it'll just be another day off. Like, it's not really a big deal.
Right.
But then Des Moines to close it out and then head home.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long is that?
Like a week and a half, total time passing. But man, it was my first one. I just used my network and everything. So I mean, it'll be awesome. Plus, it's like never really like done any sort of like outside of Iowa tour. So.
Oh, really? First time? Then, huh?
Yeah.
Have you toured around Iowa itself, or just kind of outside of the QC mostly?
Yeah, like last year we did. Let's see, what was that? We did Dubuque, QC, Waterloo, and Des Moines for a little mini setup that my buddies did last year. And then I've done a few other ones outside of town, but not like back to back or like close to being back to back. So it'll be fun. And then I'm going on another one in May with my homie Tam Madinku from Milwaukee.
Nice.
So actually, you guys, I think he did the Junetopia. You guys did too.
Oh, yeah, I know the name for sure.
Yeah, because he's super dope, and like he actually hit me up to go out with him. Like I think it was like November or whatever, but peak at FedEx is like December, like like after Thanksgiving, like the week after. So I was like, I had to turn it down. I was so mad too. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like, it's just one of those things. It's like, especially, that's missing out on just building in those other cities and just getting out into places that I've never been. So it's like, when you have to turn down an opportunity like that, it's just like kind of frustrating, especially when you're being an artist and you're trying to do these things,
Right.
These opportunities don't just, come out of nowhere all the time, But
Right. Well, it's fucking dope. You're finally like getting spread out. Hella gonna make your way further and further now.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So what originally got you into music altogether?
Man, I don't know. Like, naturally, I think it was just a thing that, like, I think it sort of naturally happened. Like, I wasn't forced into it, or, like, my mom wasn't into music and stuff. But, like, one of my uncles, he used to sing all the leads in this church we went to. And he was amazing singer and, like, tons of energy. And just, like, watching him, I think over time, it was just, like, a natural, just, like, I want to do that type of thing. Like, he was a big influence on me as a kid. And so, like, in school, it was, like, natural to where, like, well, I might as well join choir. And which I think in, like, elementary, I don't know if all kids are in choir, but I think they at least have music class or something.
Through the school, yeah. I don't think I don't know if we did, like, elementary choir at our school.
Yeah, I feel like it was just, like, a music class. Yeah. And then I think that just, having that naturally, I was just like, well, I mean, might as well stick with doing music, like, and then just gradually I fell more in love with it and everything. And then, like, he had passed when I was younger, because he had passed away from AIDS and everything. And I didn't know that until, like, recently, though, because it was just, I mean, the way my mom is like over time, like, like as her like schizophrenia and stuff like kind of took over, like she became, you know, there were less talks with her really because her mindset was, and then she would fast and she wouldn't take her medication and stuff. So it was like, even when that happened, it would just be like complete just shut down of her, you know. So it was like, and it was like it was around, I think it was around that time because when I've done research on like schizophrenia and stuff, they were saying that like most of the time, like everyone has whatever schizophrenia is, like if everyone has it in their, you know, and however it breaks down, I don't know the scientific shit, but you know, sometimes it's like traumatic instances that bring it out of you. And like I think it was a matter of like a couple of years to where it was like she lost her brother and I think her sister and I think my great grandma, but it could have been over those few years. I think that's what it was, that it kind of just happened because it was like, and it was crazy because I remember when he had passed, like it was just out of nowhere, like it was crazy. And I mean it was like he was healthy and then the next he was, you know, he was sick. And like I didn't know anything about it, and I mean like that was the thing, it was like it hurt a lot because it was like, especially with him being an influence musically for me as a kid, like it was just like, because we didn't grow up with a dad, so but we had this huge family, so it's like, but he was like somewhat not necessarily a dad, but I mean he was younger too, so it was like I think it was just a natural, just like I don't know, just a natural thing that happened. But yeah, I mean honestly, like I feel like he's probably the biggest reason why I got into music, because I mean we, like I said, I mean we had it at church and everything, and that was the biggest thing for me, because I mean that's where I learned to appreciate music and respect the hell out of it, was from church. So.
Did you say you were pursuing music already while he was still alive, or was it?
No, I was in like elementary school and stuff. When
did you ever do choir like younger age or anything like that?
Like just the like the elementary stuff, and then junior high I think is when they actually have like choir. Well, at least most schools. I'm sure there's other schools that, you know, whatever. But yeah, I did like the junior high choir setup, and then high school I stayed with choir. Excuse me. But then I ended up making All-State at Central my senior year, which was a freaking awesome experience. Like, and it was nuts because like I think we had like 2 or 3 people that made it like 3 years in a row from like sophomore to senior year. Yeah. And I mean like they were amazing, talented people overall. Like I mean like probably graduated like top 10 in our class and stuff, but like amazing human beings outside of school too. Like they weren't just like, you know, like Julian, he ended up going to Iowa and playing professional football and stuff for a few years. So it was like kind of cool seeing, and just like, holy crap, like I made it once and you guys made it 3. And then it was like, we were there and they were there because they said it was pretty hard to make it like even three years in a row. And then there was some quartet that had made it all 4 years. And I mean, I was just like, and they were like, dude, that's like super rare, like especially like it's one thing for a person to make it 4 times in general, but like a full-on quartet, that because what you do is like there's the bass, tenor, alto, and soprano. I mean at least that's what our setup was for the district, or however regional, whichever, I don't know how it breaks down. It was like 10 years ago, so I don't really remember, but so it was like that's what their quartet was. I'm like, wow, like, and I mean, didn't get to hear them solo, but I was like, man, if they made it 4 years, they gotta be freaking phenomenal.
Right, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So when did you really start pursuing music more heavily then?
I don't know, like, I've, like, even when I was a kid, like, I knew, like, especially with my uncle, I wanted to do something in music, and I wanted, like, before I kind of, like, when I was younger, like, especially when, like, American Idol came out, like, I think that was, like, high school, I think. And, like, that's when I was like, you know what, like, maybe I'll try and do that or something. Because it was, like, I knew I wanted to do something with music. Like, when I started, because I started, like, writing poetry, like, just to deal with a lot of things, just to get words out of my head. Because at home, there wasn't really that talking. So it was, like, and I had these emotions that I didn't know. Like, I had family, and they would be like, hey, if you ever need to talk to me. But it's like, it's one of those things. It's like when you have a parent and like you'd rather just talk to them. So it's like, I just kind of took a notebook out instead, you know, because I was like, I didn't want to bring my issues, whether it's like with my mom or my brother or something else, to my other family members, you know, and then put that burden on them. So I was like, you know, I'll just start writing and using it as my therapy and stuff. And then eventually I'm like, oh, like, cause like I'd be, you know, reading the booklets that come with CDs and everything and tape or whatever, you know, you listen to, and it like has descriptions or like lyrics or whatever they put in there, and like reading through them sometimes or looking up lyrics of songs wherever they are. I'm like, oh, like literally if you just read this is poetry, you know what I'm saying? Right. So then eventually I started singing my poems, and I was like, man, this like, it's not easy, but I was like, damn, why didn't I think of this before, you know? Like I've been writing, you know.
How old were you when you started doing that?
Oh man, I think that was in maybe 7th or 8th grade probably. And then like it kept going back and forth all the time, because like especially when things would get heavier, I mean it was just like I'd listen to a lot of CDs all the time too, like I had like the greatest hits of like Brian McKnight, and like I think my mom, and plus my mom, she's super like sheltered the crap out of us. Like she would not let us watch like anything. Yeah. Like I didn't know what South Park was until like 7th grade. Yeah. And people were like, "Hey Terrance, where's Philip?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, I don't know. Philip's like in a different class. We don't have the same classes anymore. Like, yeah. And they just look at me like, the fuck is he talking about? Like, and then eventually my buddy's like, "You've never seen South Park?" I was like, "Dude, no. Like, we don't have cable, and even if we did, my mom would not let us watch that show. Like, regardless." And I mean, and like her thing, like it was like most of our movies were religious films, so it was like she like my mom, like she's not as like she's still Christian and everything, but like not as heavily as she was, because it got bad, and it was like we would fight a lot, because it was like like at some point like I knew more about the Bible than I did about like just life in general, like, and that shit was scary for a while. Like it was something like naturally I adjusted, and I mean like luckily like I didn't really have, I guess, some sort of like I haven't always been an outgoing person, but I learned to like adjust, you know, over time and everything. So it's like luckily I could just kind of just find friends and fit in, and then gradually learn from them, you know, and do all that stuff. But it was like sometimes that shit was crazy, like especially that like when I don't get a joke because literally I've never seen the show, and it's just like, I don't know, I mean, so it was like, it was crazy. Like,
and being raised that way, are you very religious yourself, or did you grow away from it much?
Like I totally, like I'm religious, like I believe in God and everything, and like I don't pray as much as I used to, but like I mean like especially like my lady's son Damien, like when he goes to bed and stuff, he'll have me like rub his back to help him like fall asleep easier and stuff, and like that's like the most I pray like now. Like I mean I'll still pray randomly, like especially if my anxiety is fucking up and shit, it puts me in a better mindset and everything too. But it's just like churches for me, like I'll go back to churches and stuff for like funerals and stuff like that, and it's like, and I mean I'll probably, like I've been talking to one of my cousins, because there's like a Smokey Norfolk, he's a pretty big gospel singer that I grew up listening to, and his church is up in Chicago, so I'll probably go and check out one of his services one day or something. But for me it's just like I don't preach or anything like that. Like it's just like I believe in God, and like, you know, that's what it is. Like I don't try and push it on anybody or anything like that. But growing up, especially with my mom, when she got sick, like when her schizophrenia was coming heavy, like we would go to church with one of my aunts, and like sometimes we'd be sitting in church and they'd be talking shit about my mom, like, and like saying like, oh well, she's, you know, this and that, or she's got a demon inside of her, this and that. And it's like I didn't know what was going on for a while, because I mean I feel like, you know, my aunts and uncles, they were trying to, you know, keep us level, you know, and like even though, because it's like you don't know what to do with kids. Like I mean we were like junior high school and stuff, so it was like we were old enough to know and understand, but I'm not mad at them for like not fully like, hey, this is what's wrong with your mom and this and that. Like they were dealing with it, so it was like they were making sure that we were, you know, staying kids, as opposed to like sitting there trying to raise, even though we had to help her a lot when we were, you know, when she was going through a lot of it. But it was like they'd be sitting there blatantly talking shit, and I'm just like sitting there like, you do understand I'm sitting right here and you're talking shit about my mom.
Right.
And it's like, if we weren't sitting in a church right now, I would be cussing you out. Like, if we weren't in a place that I'm supposed to respect in general, and all these other people were here, like nowadays, it's like, I mean, I wouldn't say I'd cuss somebody out in the church right now, but it's like, come on, man, like.
I probably would.
Yeah, like, trust me. Like, honestly, it's like, if it's the right situation, I probably would. But it's just like, out of respect for the people that are, you know, practicing Christians that do things by the book, or respect people for who they actually are. Like, regardless, like, hey, that's cool. Like, do what you do. You know, this is what I do. But, you know, maybe respect who I am, or at least show each other respect. But it's
let's
like,
go talk outside.
yeah, exactly. And it's like, some people don't care, man. Like, it's just like that's why it killed it for me, because it's like, look, like, I get that they're amazing Christians. Like, I have relatives that are huge Christians that, you know, go to church every Sunday and do things the right way. But then I also know plenty of people that are two-faced as hell and do worse shit than people that don't believe in God. You know what I mean? It's like, just because people don't believe in God or a God or anything doesn't make them a bad person. Like, people can still do the right thing without having to believe in something to tell them not to do something. You know, it's called fucking conscience, dude. Like, like,
and you can do plenty of bad shit while believing in something.
Exactly.
Too.
And we see it every freaking day on the news. And it's just like, and I mean, it was like, even with like some of the early churches that we went to, like, it was like seeing it as a kid, and you're like, I mean, it's stuff that, like, they're trying to hide from you, but like, the pastor's sleeping with this other lady and his wife's sitting right up front, and like, a freaking 8-year-old kid knows about it. And all you people are just sitting there acting like it's just perfectly fine or okay. Like, and then eventually, like, I think the guy ended up leaving after my uncle passed, and I don't know if that had anything to do with it, like, emotionally for him or something, or if it was just a cop. I don't know. Like, but I'm just like, how do you people sleep at night? Like, for real. Like, it's like, like, back then, like, you know, I was feeling bad for, like, stealing baseball cards and shit, and you motherfuckers are out here, like, full on cheating on your wives. And my uncle, like, he I didn't know he was gay growing up and everything. Like, it doesn't matter to me regardless, but it was just one of those things, because it's like though a lot of people, like, some Christians don't care if you're gay, bisexual, or however you are, you know, but then there's so many that do. But then it's just like, they'll turn the other cheek and not care because, oh, well, he's talented, so, you know, he can come sing the leads in our church because he's really good and all this and that. But behind closed doors, sit there and talk shit because because of who they are. Like, people are who the fuck they are. Like, it is what it is. Like, you can't, like, as long as the person's not hurting you or someone else or whatever, let people be, man. Like, that's just how I feel. Like,
definitely. Now, when did you adopt the name Soultru? Where did you get that from? What made you choose that?
I think that was in junior high school too. Like, maybe high school. And like, I don't know, like, exactly what process my brain was going through when it happened, but it was just, I know at the end of the day, it was like trying to find something that was like true to who I, like, stay true to me, and I was like true soul, and then I flipped it around and changed the spelling on, like, true and everything, and just because it sounded good to me, so it was like, you know,
if I could just run with it.
Yeah. And it was like, it was funny because like years, what was that show we did out in, was that Clinton show? I ended up finding that other dude on YouTube. There's some other dude that spells it like it's Soultru, but it's like, it's 2 words, and I think it's 2 words without the E too. Oh. But it was like, his video was posted, and it was like like I had this name since like junior high school. So I mean, that's like 15 years ago. Right. Or actually longer than that now I think about it. But it's just like, I was hella mad because I was like, man, what if, like, I was like, and then I checked out his video. Like, I wasn't being an asshole and being like, oh man, he ain't good enough to like have his name or anything. But I was like, you know what? Like, I really wasn't, like, it sounds so arrogant of me, but I was like, I wasn't worried about like him making it. Like, say if one of us made it, like, I'm like, I think I got a better. Yeah. shot at this shit, you know. But
Yeah, it sucks when you have to come up with the name. It's like, all right, now I got to get the handle on like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or whatever,
right.
so, before it's taken or some shit. Has religion played a big influence on your music, or what does? Where do you draw your influence?
Man, I don't even know anymore, because like religion has, but it's like, for me, it's just like I like to tell my story in general. So it's like one song will be talking about, like, might partially talk, like, I've never written a song fully on like God, but like more of like one of the instances with my aunt, Dead Breezes, somewhat about that. And we were sitting in church, and it was a bunch of, I think most of us were like at least teenagers, and she just kind of opens it up and is like, hey, if there's anything any of you guys want to ask anyone or ask me about, you know, maybe something that you can't talk to your parents about or something, just because it's your parents, like like you might have that open relationship with them to be able to talk about things, but you know, you might also get that like opposite thing, as opposed to them just listening and telling you an opinion and respecting what you want to do. It's like you might have that parents like, no, like you need to go to school, as opposed to trying music, you know, like it's not a career, or how that, or whatever, you know, situation. But anyway, I was like, hey, yeah, can I be in the church and still do secular music, you know? And I mean, like my music really, like, I mean, I don't think my music's sexual at all. So it was like, my thing was, I was like, yeah, I might have curse words here and there or whatever, but it's just like, it's just an emotion. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I put those words in there, if I do put them in there. But she's like, no, and kept it short and sweet. It was just, I'm pretty sure she just said no. And then, like, I kind of got irritated, because I'm like, wait, what? And I mean, mind you, she's one of the people that does leads at the church that she was going to at that time, at least. And I mean, she's a phenomenal singer too. Like, I mean, just good Lord, just ridiculous. And I mean, their choir was like 15 people, and they'd have a full church rocking like there was like 40, 50 of them, you know. But anyway, she says that, and I'm like, well, what about like John Legend and Aretha Franklin? And I'm just listing off all these people that started in church, like, like regardless of what you say, I'm like, then explain why these people are doing it and they're allowed to and it's okay, but you say otherwise.
Right.
And like, it didn't even get that far. I just got through the names, and she's like, next question. Like, just like, I was so pissed off. Like, I was like in all honesty, that was probably like one of the last moments I could just full on respect church for myself personally, because it was just like, and then because after that, it just like, it's like when you do that and you like break my spirit like that with like I'm asking you, and then you just straight disrespect me because you literally just asked us if we had questions, and you just give me a fucking no, and I personally like go to shit, and like you're married into my family, like I'm gonna love you regardless of how you're connected to my family, but that's bullshit. Like,
right.
Like, you're gonna treat someone that you barely know better than me? Like, come on now. Like, and it was just like, it kind of just, it set me off. I was just like, yeah, I can't be fake no more. Like, like.
So what did that lead to? What did you do after that?
I mean, I just kept working through everything, because I think that, I mean, lot of that stuff happened in like junior high and high school. Like, that's because I honestly, I didn't find my voice until like, I mean, few years after high school, just because I mean, like, truthfully, like, I didn't gain my confidence in performing in front of people until I don't know, maybe like 22, just because like I had performed, but I had performed with groups of like, you know, 50 people in bigger choirs, so it was like there was never that like moment where I had to actually be up on a stage by myself, really. And so I like did a bunch of karaoke after like working at like restaurants and stuff with like, especially when I worked at Outback, like we'd always go out to the bar after work and everything. So it's like every time there was karaoke going on at the bar, I'm up there singing it. Like,
Hell yeah.
I was like, fuck it, like, gotta get this stage presence or just some kind of confidence at some point. And I was so nervous the first, like, I don't know, probably first 50 times easily, you know. And then gradually, I was like, man, I can just get drunk and just sing songs. Yeah. I'm not nervous anymore.
Yeah, definitely. I'll just go up here and do my thing.
Yeah.
But, so, you found your voice around 22. Soon after that, is that when you started playing live as Soultru solo?
Yeah, I mean, I was doing show like with the takeover and everything. Like we met. Wow, how long
It
was
was like
that?
it was a little over 10 years ago.
Yeah. So yeah, like right.
The takeover, was that the
That
you're
was
talking about the show?
no.
Oh.
There was we had this group
Oh,
called
okay.
Takeover.
Okay.
Yeah. It was pretty dope. We had some freaking fun times, man. Like that's when I like learned about a lot of actually like recording and everything. Like not like programs and stuff, but like getting in a booth and like working with a mic and everything, and just like experiencing all that side of things, because it's like that's just a whole nother world. Like especially when you start doing, you're like, what the fuck is going on here? And then like adjusting to hearing myself like was like a huge thing for me, because it was so weird. Like because it's like you can hear yourself, but then like when it's played back to you and you hear it, it just sounds so different. Or it's like, especially when you know, you're like, oh, I'm pitchy, man, this is bad. Like and it's like there's times like I'll be singing and like if I hit a bad note or something, I'm getting better at like not showing it. Like I just move on to the next word or note or whatever. But man, like it was just, for a while, it was like getting used to hearing myself, and it's like sometimes I still don't like it. Like honestly,
yeah. When we do music, like we just record our own stuff ourselves, because I mean, well, I don't have that kind of money for that studio time.
No,
all right, take fucking 76,
right?
or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't gonna waste someone's time. It's like we'll just focus it on our own time, I guess.
No, for damn sure.
But so when did you two get together? When did you meet?
I'll say about.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got a little story on that, because that's the only reason I work with them. The Takeover guys, NDK and Controversy, we just started working together, kind of like we just did a song together. I met Controversy after NDK. They came over to do a song, and I was like, I got this song I really need a singer on. Oh, we know one, you know. But you know, you hear that, and you're just like, yeah, we'll see.
Oh yeah, right.
So they brought him over. And I didn't put him on the song because it was about my mom that passed away. I put him on a song. I picked like one of the craziest beats I had. I couldn't even picture a singer on it.
Yeah.
It's like, if he can do this, all right.
Yeah, all right. Put him to the
So
test.
I threw him in there in my studio. I just let them do their thing, and I went in the living room. They came out not long after. There's nothing written for it or anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, okay, what? He's done? I go in there, and I was like, all of a sudden, this beat that I couldn't picture a singer on sounded like it was a beat for a singer. Like, it was good. And I was like, damn. So he got the spot on that song with my mom, and just ever since, I mean, the Takeover form, we all recorded it at NDK's studio, so that was all new kind of thing for us, because we were just always in the studio, you know, doing our solo stuff. But since we were always together, we just started a group. And then, I mean, the group, like, split off a little bit, but me and Soultru kept working together, and just we've been good friends ever since, you know. So,
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty dope.
So what year was
it's
that?
it's been a long journey.
Yeah. What year was that?
That was like I want to say 2007.
That's probably about right.
Cause I think I had my studio.
Yeah, and we were
2006. Me and NDK started recording. He started recording me right after that, and I put out that CD in 2008. So I believe it was 2007. So
yeah, because around
years,
that time we were all working, like me, him, Ryan, and a few others. We were all working at Burger King, and that was like right after high school.
So how old are you guys now?
I'm 30. Or I just turned 31.
I'm 36.
Nice.
I told somebody I was 30 yesterday. I was like, oh yeah, I just had a birthday show.
Fuck.
Forgot. Whoops. I'm just gonna keep telling people
just
I'm
keep
30
it forever.
Yep.
I'm fucking 30.
That's like a grandparent saying they're like 60 something for like 20 years. I think they said that's what my grandma did for a while. I think she's in her 90s now. Yeah.
Definitely. When was your first album? When did you come out with your first Soultru album?
Fuck, man, like when? I think it was Backpack. I think the first one. I think. I'm trying to remember. Because I put out music, but I don't think I had actually put out like physical copies for a long time. I don't even remember what year that was.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna lie, I'd have to look, but
You know how many albums you've had so far?
it was like
4, right?
4.
I think at least 4 that I can remember.
I think it is 4.
Back continued. The Progeny
Yeah,
album.
3,
And then the one you did with Eric.
Yeah. So yeah, 4.
Nice. Now, are you stepping in? You're basically being Soultru's manager now.
Yeah, that wasn't a decision either. I went down to Full Sail to do music business in Florida, and right when I got there, he texted me. He's like, "You know, you're gonna be my manager, right?" And I was like, "Yep." Like it was just like
we knew, but we hadn't spoken.
I know it was. Yeah, it was just like. I mean, he's had
The
people come to
unspoken
him.
agreement.
Yeah, he's had people come to him since, and he's like, "No, I mean, we trust each other. We've been like brothers for so long, and like we both know. I know his music, which benefited everything because when I was at Full Sail, all the projects and pitches I did were all aimed at him. So I did a lot of work before,
Nice.
like branding, just like all, like learning how to pitch him, coming up with new bios, just like doing everything I possibly could to be ready, you know. But he's already been doing so much. It's and you know we're in constant contact because we both always have ideas,
Right.
and our conversations are never like we can't do that. It's like, oh, how can we do this? Like there's never like an impossible. Any ideas we pitch at each other, they're never shot down. We just try to figure out ways to make it happen.
Yeah, shit, that's a good way to
And it's
go
just,
about it.
it's constant communication. It's just like we've always worked together good like that. So we have a lot of stuff going on right now. Like we obviously can't say, you know, the big things, but like.
Yeah, it honestly kind of like it doesn't suck, but it's just like it's one of those things.
Yeah, it's just like like we're trying not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but we're constantly working on it. And I'm not out there trying to be an artist manager for just anybody, you know.
Right.
I have to have full faith in them, and I did the research on him and did all this stuff in school and never got sick of his music. Like
Definitely,
once,
yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah,
'Cause I
yeah.
get sick of stuff easy.
Yeah.
I get sick of my music.
I
So I'm
don't,
like,
and I
oh.
sit there at the shows and I'm trying not to like sing along too hard because I don't know how to sing. But
Yeah,
But,
man. Like as you know, we went and saw you last night,
Mm-hmm.
and man, I hadn't seen you in like a long time. I can't remember when the last time I saw you
Yeah,
was. Man, I was like, fuck, super glad I went because it's fucking. I mean, the albums are great, but you gotta see this shit in person.
Yeah,
For
thank you, bro.
anyone who's listening, gotta go see the next fucking Soultru show. Yeah, it's fucking great. Like,
Thank you.
another
Like,
thing I
holy
think, the other thing too is like all the years of knowing him, I see him progress, and I hear the next album, and that Progeny one you did when he sent me it, like before it came out, he sent me some files. I got through like a song and a half, and I called him because I was like, people don't get these calls, but I was like, dude, this is good. Like it was good. But like the other thing I've seen him advance in is on the stage, and I was gonna tell him this too, like just a recommendation, but he was already doing it when I got back home. November 2018, so just recently. But he's getting more personal and he's telling more stories, and the people are just like getting into it. And that acapella he did at the end, he's been doing that lately.
ooh,
And it's just killing it. Like I've heard loud venues just shut up like completely, and just like, and people just get zoned into them. I mean, even when we would go out and we'd do karaoke a lot before too when I lived here, and people would be buying us drinks, and people just love, like, it's just like fun. When we're out together, like we're personable and we can go make these connections because
Right.
we've traveled a lot, and we just, I mean, it's easy, you know.
hell yeah.
He was the easy choice to work with, you know.
Definitely. What was your last one you came out with? Your last album?
Last project,
Yeah.
the Soultru and Progeny.
Nice. When did that one drop?
December. What week was? Like December 7th or something like that. It was the first week of December, like, or the first Friday in December.
Nice.
Excuse me, belching over here.
So what-
yeah, December 7th.
So what are you allowed to tell the listeners so far? What's coming? What's new? 2019, we're 2 months in. We know you got the tour coming up.
Yeah,
Probably
got
more of those
two
to
tours.
come, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I mean there'll be new info for sure. Probably before the end of February there'll be some pretty dope info, because there's like with the one setup, there's gonna be a lot of stuff. Like there's stuff that's like months down the line that's already gonna be a lock for sure.
Fuck yes.
And I mean honestly, like just behind the scenes right now, like we're working towards the next step. Like I mean we're just working towards like booking even out a little bit, even past even past the summer and stuff, like looking into that. And I mean, I just booked a couple more shows coming up that aren't announced in the QC and stuff. That'll actually be really dope shows. Like I'm hella looking forward to. I'm trying to think of something that I can tell.
Well, we're going to be working on a lot of new merchandise and unique merchandise, but unique marketing strategies too. And what else? We just hired a social media like manager for Twitter.
Hell yeah.
Because I went through school with her, and she's amazing. She's got those numbers too. So
nice.
And she did a lot of the research with me in school on Soultru, so she's kind of a jump ahead on that too. She's really good. So
yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah. Where do you have much where's your biggest following right now? Like, are you like on Facebook or you got YouTube shit? Or?
Probably Facebook, because I think I have a few couple thousand followers. I think I'm maybe like 100 above 2,000 or something like that. So again, I got to build some more. But yeah, probably there, and maybe Instagram probably second. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, I think Twitter, I want that to get up a little bit more too. But man, I'm not like I'm on there just as much too. But I mean, well, that's a lie. That's probably out of the 3 sites, that's probably the one that gets the least attention. But
same for me, yeah. Like Twitter's just like dead.
It's like it's dope, but then it's just like when Instagram came out, you're just kind of like, yeah. It's like you can post all those photos and videos and go live and shit. So it's like, I mean, it's similar to Facebook but different. And you just like that little quick stop real quick and then get to see who looked at it or liked it or whatever.
Yeah.
Get that engagement a little bit. It's pretty cool. Especially it's like when there's only so much time in the day, and you can like just, show people what you did or see what people have been doing. Or like, hey, I'm on my lunch break. This is what I'm eating. Like, it's kind of interesting because it's like I don't get to hang out with my friends as much. So like we got to be adults now. So it's like.
You got to digitally hang out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, plus, I mean, I can't call everybody. So it's like, oh, yeah, like, comment. Hell yeah. I mean, especially it's like when I went out to Seattle and stuff, I ended up doing like a So Far Sounds out there, and then we ended up like we're singing this like freaking $1 million house and stuff. It was nuts, and connected with my buddy Matt, and then a couple other people that played that night, and he's from I think he said Vancouver, and just he is dope. Like plays acoustic and sings, and it was just like. I don't know. He's got a super distinct voice, and it's got like a vibe of like Mike Pose. Is it Mike Posner?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not
Posner,
sure.
Maybe I don't.
Yeah, I don't want to. Someone will know, Yeah. But so excuse us if we say it wrong. Don't yell at us. It's the wrong name. But anyways, it's similarities to his voice, but it's still different. And I was just like sitting there. I was like, damn, I gotta follow this dude up, And then Leah T, that's what her name is. I couldn't think. Freaking tired. But yeah, she played piano and just kicked ass. I mean, it was a great show. I mean, you ever heard of So Far Sounds?
I think I've heard of it, but I don't know.
Yeah, they're like
it.
They're like most of them are like stripped back. Like pretty much living room shows, because I think what it is, it's songs from a room. I think that's what they said it is.
Okay.
And like I don't know when it started, but like Vagabond Maurice from Chicago, he had done a taped one because not all of them are filmed. But I saw his and I was like, dude, what is that? Like that was awesome what you did, And I think the ones that they do video for, you can actually have a full band with PAs and like just whatever sound system that they bring in. And I mean, like you look at the video quality, it's really nice. So like you can tell they like make sure they bring in a professional to shoot everything. And I mean, I think Ed Sheeran's done them too. Like Ed Sheeran, like Leon Bridges, like there's a bunch of bigger names that I've seen sets from like on their site and everything. I mean, and seeing that was pretty cool, but I mean, it's just, and they're all over the world. Like all of them are major cities. I think the only one in Iowa that has one is Des Moines, but then like Chicago's I think the next closest. And then but yeah, when I was in Seattle, I did one out there, and it's like dope seeing like I probably won't see Matt for a while, but but like maybe the next time I'm in Seattle or something, or get out to Canada at some point. But it's dope to see those friends that I connected with and stay in touch with them, and see them post their newest tracks or whatever they're working on like Instagram and Facebook, because it's like that's the only way I'm gonna really keep in touch with them, you know. So, but
Hell yeah.
so it's like it's awesome in that aspect, everything too.
Nice. Didn't you recently do the Day Trotter session? That was pretty recent, wasn't it?
Yeah, with the Low Written Gods, they were freaking awesome. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that used to be Good Company or something.
Yeah,
right?
that's what.
Okay,
Yeah, it's I think three of the members are from the Good Company, and then we brought in Fantana to play drums, because he's actually a really freaking sick drummer.
Nice.
Like,
Hell yeah.
yeah, because we were talking, and I didn't even know until like after we had done a few shows. He was like, "Yeah, I was in. I think it's called Drum Corps," and it's like he had said they played in what is it, the Colts Stadium, something oil, Lucas Oil.
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I don't know if you told me.
Yeah, it's like I can't remember, whatever the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts professional football team, like they played in that stadium and stuff. Yeah,
Oh,
he was telling me a bunch of stuff about it. I was like, dude, that's sick. I mean, it's pretty much like drumline,
Yeah.
full on, just like.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, dude, he's like full on choreography. It's like pretty much marching band, but like to another level, like to where it was like it's almost like an AAU like basketball team, but for like drum, marching band and stuff, or drum corps.
Yeah, them marching bands ain't no joke a lot of times. Man, you've seen that shit, like the videos of like on the field, they're like making crazy fucking images and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the people Soultru's been playing with are talented, man. And like he'll show up with like either just him or like Fantano, DJ, or Colton, piano or guitar. It's just crazy. Like, you don't know what Soultru you're gonna get really as far as who's gonna be with him, but I mean he brings it every time.
Yeah, shout out to Colton. He played with you last night. What's his name?
Colton Graham.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a freaking beast.
On the fucking guitar, on the keys, and all that shit. Hell yeah.
Yeah, he plays drums and stuff too, and like I know, like, because in our band, I think he like freestyled one day. Like there was an open verse on one of the tracks we were in the process of finishing up and everything, or like writing another verse to. He's like, hey, like I got something in my head, can I spit it, or he's like been thinking through something, and so he just goes off top of his head, and I was like, wait, what, did you write that? He's like the first couple lines I just was listening to the music and writing, but then he was like, I kind of freestyled the rest, and then he just like, I was like, dope, you need to write it down? He's like, nah, I got it. Like, wait, you just freestyled and you remembered it while you were freestyling? Like, what the fuck?
I already wrote it down.
Right, in my head.
Yeah.
Like,
Super humble guy too. I was trying to give him
man.
props because I know your music, and he's
I always gotta give my people
like,
props, man.
he's a super cool guy.
Yeah, that's a good way to be.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's how you get better,
Yeah,
you gotta humble yourself.
Of course. Definitely.
Yeah, I try to stay humble. Like,
Gotta stay humble.
I feel like I'm a humble person, but but I mean, I might have my moments of being a little jerk or something. I don't know, but I like to think I don't. Like, so if I do, I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to say that I'm better than everyone else, but super humble, dude.
Come on, understand. I'm
I don't know
humble.
how humble I am. Probably not very humble.
Now, Brett, what was your intro to getting into music? What got you first
Oh
started?
boy. So
Go down these rabbit holes.
Where should I begin?
I started in hardcore bands. I was in the
Yeah.
hardcore scene in high school, and
Alright.
oh man, that was an amazing scene.
Yeah.
And
Are you originally from Quad Cities?
yeah, basically, yeah. I come from Mount Pleasant, but I moved here in like 5th grade, so I'm basically like Quad Cities my whole life.
Same
so.
with you, yeah.
Yeah, I was born in Oklahoma on an army base, but we came up here like as soon as my mom could leave the hospital or whatever. So
Hell yeah.
I don't remember it.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I was writing my whole life, Like my mom passed away. Well, she was murdered when I was in 8th grade, and so I kind of wrote through it. I knew I had people, but like, I wrote through that, and I just kept writing. And I was writing like more poetry, and then I got into the bands. But it's high school, so like little girl drama or whatever, we all kept breaking up. But then like 2002, I started writing hip hop because I grew up with older brothers that listened to like Too Short and NWA, all that stuff. Like I was just like obsessed with it. And so I just started writing hip hop, and I knew nothing about it, you know, and I just, you know, took my share of getting turned down for shows. When they say hip hop, they just hang up on me.
Yeah.
Because people before ruined it. So I had to figure out ways to talk to people, and I figured it out from there. I actually had a band, Sugar Nipples, where the ones that name. They heard. Yeah, my friend showed them. Look at what they did.
You'll say that.
And I was kind of humble, and I'm like, you know, whatever. And then like Sugar Nipples were like bigger on here back then, and they were like, "We're playing tomorrow. You should open for us." And I was like, "Okay." And I'm just like, I have less than 24 hours to do my first show. But it landed on Mother's Day. So I did a song I did for my mom. And the place went crazy. It was just like the best feeling ever. And so they put me on again, that's when I met NDK, put him, hip hop artist, put him on with me in the second one for his first show. And like, I mean, it was just, still those days were happening, you know, we would be on the phone all day just like, okay, yeah, we can book you. What kind of music? Hip hop, click. And it was just, but you know, I was just kind of learning the ways through there, and I started figuring out how to set up bigger shows, and we were traveling a lot, and like, I was kind of helping other artists, and like no nonsense stuff. So like, I was very picky about. I got in good with the promoters to where I could just be like, don't book that guy, and they wouldn't even ask. It's like, okay. Because I don't deal with the fighting that shows. It is just not.
No, yeah.
It's such poison. And, like, it was so hard for people to build it up. Because while we were building up, there's a group, UGV, right? Yeah, UGV. And I was still good friends with one of those guys. But we were both just building it back up. And then it kind of seemed like some of the stuff was coming back around when we kind of backed off a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I kind of learned, all that experience was super helpful when I went to school. It was just like I remember going through artist management class, and the teacher was like, you gotta be prepared for your cars to break down and blah, blah. I was just like, this one time and this other, you know, like I was sitting there like, yeah, that's actually very true, guys. You need to listen to this guy because we broke down on the way to Kansas City. We had to cram
I forgot about that.
We had to cram 2 carloads of people, of rappers and whatever, into a car. Like people laying on each other to get to Kansas City.
Jesus.
So like 2.5 hours the rest of the way there, 5 back. We didn't even get to stay to see like Chris Calico and all those guys because everyone was just like, let's get this over with. And just like, you know, it's just so like it's stories on stories on stories. And I started writing an autobiography about my hip hop career alone.
What's one of the craziest things that's ever happened?
I don't want to say where, but there was a hip hop show, and I wasn't performing, but I was there for my friend. And I had a buddy in a gang, but he started fighting, and it turned into like a big thing. Like there was chairs flying. I look over and a chair is flying across the room and knocks this girl down on the ground. There's bottles. But I was just like standing there next to my friend because I was like, I already seen a couple of my people just like bounce, and I was just like, because they just thought everyone was just kicked out. And like I had this guy trying to bum rush my friend, and I was just like gonna blindside him because, you know, he's going after my friend, and there's a bottle that just like hit that guy in the face and he fell over. And I was just like,
okay,
wow,
right.
That was about to go crazy. But you know, it was just like the situational moment where like, I don't know, I didn't want to leave my people's sides even though they're the one being stupid. But I mean, that was like, it wasn't my show. Like I said, I don't want to say where it was at, but there's some people that got arrested for sure.
I'm just imagining this dude getting blasted with a bottle like that. Like somebody was straight targeting that man.
Yeah, like in the you got the crossfire.
You better get up off my home.
I'm surprised I didn't get a scratch because that was. But I was a lot crazier back then. I didn't bring that stuff to show still, but I was into a lot of more craziness. But I do want to say one thing though, because the first bad experience I had was when These people wanted to sign me. I bought beats off him. He heard what I did with them. He wanted to sign me. And then they had a show in Omaha. And this was like one of the first like hip hop experiences I was going to go have. And so I went there to support him. And they played one of the beats he sold me on stage. And we had a talk. But like, I mean, he was like shaking but I was just like, hey man, like, and he's like, okay, I'll take it off. I won't use it anymore. You know, and we talked it out.
Did you know you were there? Like, do you know you're coming?
Yeah.
What the?
And so, I actually only have done this that one time because I was so like in love with hip hop, and that being my first experience out there being so bad, like I actually like was so upset I threw up, which I've never done that. That was the only time, but I was like so like just in love with being a new artist and just. It was crazy. I don't know. But...
That's wild. Man, these fuckers probably like, oh, it wasn't an exclusive license. I'm still gonna use the fucking beat.
Right.
It was
shit. He was probably he did it on purpose because he was like, well, this dude ain't gonna say nothing because like he was probably judging a book by its cover. Like he ain't gonna say nothing.
Oh, right when he got off stage,
it's like,
I was like,
hold up,
hey.
bro. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I don't know who you think this is. Like,
it's a shame when you have to deal with the bullshit sometimes with whack ass promoters or people fucking with the beats and shit.
Like I've been lucky like to not like it's.
Have you had
like,
any crazy stories?
Like I got crazy stories, but it's like working bars and stuff. Like I don't think I've ever had any like extreme shit happen to where it was like directed at me or anything like that. I mean I've had shit happen, but it's just like I don't even remember it, so it's like it literally doesn't even matter to me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Of all the shit that happens, like if you actually remember it, well, then you know it must have been fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That went on. I was just like no nonsense, and everyone knew that. Everybody. But I went on like a 3-year stretch of shows where there's no fights or anything. People are just like, what? And I'm like, they just know because I could do that. I just like I knew all the promoters, so if people messed around, I was just like, don't book them.
Yeah.
Simple.
Nobody
wants that.
I don't think I've had any weird shows with fights except maybe one time way back in the day at a house show.
I've seen fights, but like it's just always like it's funny because like the only person I ever physically fought was my brother.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it was like life was just so crazy that it's like I used to bar back at like Creekside and like other places and stuff, and like I'd bar back and like if there wasn't security that night, I like help out. Plus it's like. Excuse me, like once you know the bar regulars and everything, then it's just like people understand there's like literally there's a bar full of 60 people and like at least 30 of those people are regulars on weekends, so like don't do no stupid shit in this bitch. Like actually I'll tell you, like I'll just tell one of my bar stories because I never had any cool stuff at like shows, but there's this one night where it was just regular like Friday or Saturday night. And like some regulars came in, like they always came in like on for karaoke. It was like once a month or something or whatever. And this night, I think it was they got married earlier that night, and I was actually supposed to sing at their wedding, but like I think something happened to where like they forgot to like let me know the date or something, or like I hadn't seen them in a while, so they just never lined up or whatever. And like she came in her freaking wedding dress and everything, like so like they came like straight from like the reception or whatever they had going on. I mean this is like 10 o'clock at night and they're all in, wedding parties in and everything, and then I can't remember if it was part of their wedding party or like there was a different thing going on where people were just dressed up too. And out of nowhere like this I ain't gonna say no names and shit because shit like nobody got in trouble, but I just don't want to bring it up to and somebody get pissed or something. But anyway, started off with the girls, and it was like, I don't know, these chicks, I think they grew up together, but it was like, I think it was over some dude type shit, like somebody slept with some dude's dude or some shit. And this was like, it's one of those things where it was like over years ago, but it was like still one of those things like they didn't like each other still to this day type shit. And it was like, I think it was one of the girls grabbed the other one by the hair, pulled her down off the stool or the chair. Like, so it was like some full on, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I got hella buddies and shit. Like, I live in downtown Weston and Davenport and shit. But, like, there's just, like, that's like a, I don't know, it's like a Davenport thing. Like, Weston and Davenport's just like a certain style of shit, and there's a lot of West Indians in there, and like like that happens, and then it's like a few like it's this chick brawl going right now, and then the chick brawl turns into dudes hitting dudes, and actually before that, we were sitting at the pool table. Do you remember? Were you here when? Yeah, you were around Creekside. The pool table was over by the bathrooms in Creekside. Mm-hmm. And the pool table at Creekside was over by the bathrooms, and we're just sitting there chilling. And like I said, this was a regular night, so there's like 40 regulars and like maybe 10 random people we don't know in the place. And there's like 6 or 7 of us standing around the pool table, and a couple are playing, and the rest of us are just shooting the shit, you know. And this dude's just standing there staring at us, and I mean, he's just like this mug like a motherfucker, and you're just like, bro, what's up? Like, someone is asking him and he's not talking. Like, dude was somewhere else mentally drunk wise and just mugging the shit out of us. And at some point I'm just like, you know what, he's not worth it. Like, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with dude, but just let him do what he's doing. Like, maybe he'll just walk away at some point. And then that happens, like the girl thing, like I see the girl get pulled, like yanked back. I'm like, oh shit.
And what started that? They just out of nowhere or something?
Well, like it was, I think there was a gradual thing, like words probably got exchanged and shit, and then just some shit happened, like something we don't know happened.
That was the first strike.
Yeah, that was the first that match just fucking got lit real quick. And fucking that happened. So then all the dudes, we run over and start breaking up the chicks, because it was like literally there was like girls were trying to stomp other girls in the face and shit.
They got the heels on and shit.
No, they were like Nikes and shit. So it was like I mean, the heels probably would have done a little bit more damage, maybe, I don't know. But then so we're grabbing chicks and shit, and then the dude comes around, fucking sucker punches it. Like we're breaking, like my dude's pulling one of the chicks off the ground and stuff to pull her back so we can just separate them. And next thing I see it like right after, because I had already grabbed a chick or maybe a dude or something, can't remember, and like he came around him, and I looked, and he was catching me. He punched him in the ear, like came around him. So then as soon as that happened, I grabbed, like I'm literally standing right in front of the dude, so whoever I had, I let him go. I grabbed the dude, I pull his one arm up here and pull the other one down here, so he's just stretched like this. I mean, the dude was actually bigger than I was, but he was drunk, so he was just weak as fuck. So I take him outside and I push him outside. I was like, bro, get the fuck out of here and leave. Because I was like, my thing is, it's like, I've been in that bar to where some dude called me the fucking N-word, and I literally saved his fucking life, because there were like 30 bikers in that bar that I knew all of them, or they were associated with a friend. And once they found out that the dude called me the N-word, they were about to jump this motherfucker. Like, and I was like, dude, if you don't, like, literally. And then one of my female friends, she got outside before I did. I was pulling one of my other friends away from the situation because I knew he was going to hit the dude. And then she gets over there. I look up and she slapped the shit out of this dude. So I run over there. I'm like, fuck. I pull her back, stand in between them. I'm like, dude, get the fuck in the car and leave right the fuck now. And they jump in, and the dude that called me the N-word, he's like, dude, I'm so sorry. And the whole situation was I was running karaoke, and it was a dead night. Like, there were people there, but they weren't singing karaoke, which was normal when the biker friends came in. And so, like, they're just getting hammered. That's all it was. And so there's like 3 of us doing karaoke, just running it back to back to back. And at some points, like, I'm giving these dudes like 2 or 3 songs in a row. And then at some point, like, I put the song on, like, and I was literally singing these songs with them half the fucking time, mind you. So I'm sitting there for like a couple hours. I had to piss and then go get a beer, and then I stood there to talk to one of my buddies while they were singing their song. And the guy adjusts the sound and he turns it up, and it's not my equipment. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I walk up, I get up off my stool, start to walk up, and then I go sit back down because he turns it back to the regular, like the level that I had it at. So then I sit down, he cranks it back up, and I'm like, fuck this motherfucker. So I walk up there, and I turn it down to where you can barely hear it. And he's like, what the fuck? I was like, dude, you blow these speakers, I'm paying for them. He's like, fuck you, motherfucker. I was like, dude, I pick up the mic, I'm like, dude, fuck you. Like, I've been sitting here for freaking hours singing the songs with you, and you're gonna get pissed and disrespect the equipment now? Like, fuck you, bro. So then his friend says the N-word just out of the blue. I'm just like, what the fuck? And it's like me, I'm just like, dude, I don't give a shit if you're racist or not. You're a dumbass. Like.
And so you had a bunch of bikers there that night, and then a wedding party or some shit.
Well, no, this is 2 different nights. But
Okay.
my bad.
No,
I
you're
kind of just
good.
went off and triggered. But yeah, the night with the wedding party, I pushed the dude outside, and said what I said to him, and then I turned around because he looked at me, and then like I was surprised that he actually walked off, because I mean, you literally just punched my buddy, so I know you're ready to go regardless, and I didn't give a shit. Like, shit slows down for me like when everything hits the fan. Like, I've literally been like standing in between 2 big ass like 6'3", 250-pound dudes swinging over the top of me, just trying to separate them, and then like a half hour later, after we went in the bar and locked the door and shit, one of those dudes stabbed the other guy.
Jesus.
Yeah. So it was like, it's like when that shit pops, like my brother, no shit, like no exaggeration, like he's in prison right now. He's just not smart about things. But he used to pull butcher knives on me all, like, I no exaggeration, like, I mean full on blades. But I was either smart enough to, like, I'd always outsmart him, or like, because he had like behavior disorder, ADHD, and like bipolar and shit and everything. But like I would just disarm him, or like something in his mind would like hold him back, like even though he wanted to stab me, like, and I mean it would get, like, it was bad. There was like, had I been smaller than him, it might actually went down, because he's actually stabbed people before. So it was like, we're just like it's fucked that you get used to disarming someone with a fucking knife, but like it's just one of those things, you know. So it's like, I think that just like put my mind at something else. Like when drama happens, it's like, oh, break up the fight. Natural, just do it. Like, regardless of the consequences. I mean, it's like, you know, at the end of the day, I guess when you do that type of stuff, and you bar back and you bartend and whatever, it's like,
oh yeah,
you're thinking about other people. You're not thinking about yourself. You're like, come on, man. Like, you're gonna hurt somebody that don't deserve this shit. Like, fuck you.
Man, those are weird situations to be in. Just a bunch of fucking drunk people. Someone's bound to pop off.
Well, it's like, especially when it's people you know, and it's like, I don't know. It's just crazy sometimes. Like,
yeah.
It's like, man, like, I get it, because don't get me wrong, there's been times where I got pissed off when I was just shit-faced drunk, but like I've never just full on just punched somebody, like, wham, like, because I was drunk. That shit's just funny to me.
Yeah. It makes for good stories to tell.
Oh, for damn sure. I got hella stories to tell. It's freaking ridiculous.
Probably gonna have a lot more stories once you guys start hitting the road.
Man.
Hopefully more good stories. Hopefully nothing bad.
I have a lot of good stories.
I'm optimistic.
Days. I've had some shows that I'll never forget, man. Like, I had a lot of good memories.
Yeah, even if it's good or bad, sometimes at least it's worth a good story.
The experience. Yeah, you didn't die, so
your
like
car
you're
breaks
good.
down or whatever the fuck. Like, crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of good. The good ones, you'll get a lot of bad ones, but man, those good ones make it worth it.
Oh yeah,
they do.
In all honesty, that's a damn true statement.
And I did a Tupac birthday bash celebration in Chicago, and Hussein Fatal from the Outlaws was there, and he, rest in peace, he passed away since. But gosh, I mean, it wasn't like a show, it was like a party, like a celebration. It was just good music. He performed. We were like, he was covering like Tupac songs, and we were just partying. Like, I got to perform, and then me and Hussein Fatal did a song afterwards, and then we were gonna do more work, but he passed away in that car wreck. But it was like, I mean, just those memories of, like, there was a point where they were playing from the Cradle to the Grave or whatever, from Thug Life, but Hussein didn't plan to play it, but the intro came on, like the do 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 do, and then he's like, turn it to the next one, and the whole crowd was like, from the cradle to the... It was just like goosebumps, like, it's just like those memories. And he's like, okay, fine, cut it back, and then he played it, and it was just, I mean, just stuff like that, man. There's so many good memories, so many like amazing people I've met, you know. It's so worth it.
Have you guys ever played many house shows back in the day or anything?
Little bit.
Yeah, those can get a little wild.
Yeah.
Way less regulation.
Yeah.
Everything.
We had one for my friend Chad's birthday, and oh my gosh.
I think the only ones that I've done, I think, like, if there's something that I just don't remember, like the Colt Cave I did a couple of times, but I can't remember if I've done any other ones, so I'm definitely gonna try and book more of those. I think
I've done fun private parties and stuff too, like outside.
Ooh, outside's always fun.
Did a couple
yeah.
weddings. Those are fun. Just like a song, not a big.
Especially when you get to drink for free
I was
afterwards.
gonna say free,
Yeah.
free shit.
How can I pay you?
Yeah.
Is there an open bar? No, but there will be for you.
Yeah.
I did like.
You get yourself.
Well,
a
I
deal.
did like, cause like people didn't understand. Like, I've done some like redneck backyard parties,
Ain't nothing
and then
wrong with it.
people be
Rednecks
like,
really know how
the
to
band will
party.
be
It's
playing,
fun, dude.
the band will be playing, which is who hired me, usually, and they were like, all right, up next we have hip hop artist, you know,
Yeah.
and then you'd hear people be like, what,
What?
you know, like talking crap, and then we go up and do it, and then they'd be like the ones
That
giving
was
us props, yeah, like,
Yeah.
because it's not like our hip hop is like, I don't know, it's not really like, I don't know how to say it, like mainstream type.
Mm,
I don't know, more thought behind it.
yeah.
It's probably because it's probably that stigma of like so many people that actually try and do it.
Yeah.
That it's like, oh, well, this is gonna be terrible. Like he just looks like he can't rap or you know, type of thing.
Well, then the trends come in the radio, and the people
Yeah.
that don't listen to it just they hear the
that's what you
same. What's selling at that time, you know?
It's
Yeah.
just unfortunate. A lot
It's-
of times there's just a bunch of people trying to imitate the trends.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's just like
They make that quick
it's
buck
like
and fizzle out.
Yeah, and it's like I get it, like, cause like starting out, like you're gonna have those influences and stuff. Like I feel like especially like that's something that's hard for me because it's like I don't listen to like even my biggest influences. Like I don't listen to them as much as I used to because I'm just so busy like working on my craft.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but it's like when I do get in those modes of like full on listening, it's like I can tell, like, especially if I'm writing something new after I've been listening to them for a while, like I feel like some sort of like influence from them comes out. But it's like, luckily I'm like finding my, like, you know, I found my voice overall and stuff, but like even still, like sometimes it's just like that influence is there no matter what. So then it's
Yeah,
just like,
sure.
so it's like some of that, but yeah, sometimes it's just like people will hella bite the fuck out of somebody else
Well-
because they're like, oh, I could do that easy.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
You know, some of these people, I mean, that's up to them too. Like, they want that quick buck and
Yeah,
that quick
exactly.
fame, then fine.
Yeah.
But if you look at people that have stuck around, like Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Dre, they all have a difference. On Jay-Z, you know, they all have that different style and sound, and they're the ones that stay. So, I mean, I guess it's just a preference thing, really. But people do. There are people that just want to go make that quick buck. I know there are.
And when it's like
They see money over their passion.
Yeah.
They don't really have that passion, like
back, like
a lot of
Damn
people.
shame.
It sucks, yeah. I mean, because having that, like I said, that music passion is just something you fall in love with so
Yeah.
much.
and it's like that's what sucks because like back in the day, like especially when like American Idol came out, I was like, man, I want to go do that. But then it was like as time passed and everything, I was just like, yeah, that's not a route I want to take. And then it's
Still
like,
not gonna no
No.
America's Got Talent. No,
nah, like honestly, a couple years ago, I was literally like the day I was about to go up to Chicago to try out for The Voice, and because I just like it was things were at a standstill. Like even though like I was doing shows and everything, it's just like you can only do like you can always do shows home, but it's just like I wasn't getting outside the QC, so it was like. And it was like hard to because I knew people, but it was just like I wasn't ready or something, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then it was just like I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try and use the show for exposure. And then I ended
Right.
up like doing a little bit more research and stuff and like found like a bunch of stuff about the behind the scenes and just like how like not real the show is. Like
Yeah.
and then I full on like opened like Josh Hoyer and Soul Colossal. I opened or a group of us opened for them at Ribco, and I talked to him a little bit, and he was just like, he didn't go into super detail or anything and everything, but he was just like, yeah, he's like, it's not worth your time, like, and but like I've like like when I was doing the research the day before, like I saw that contract had gotten leaked and like all this bullshit that they put in the contract to where it's just like it's not you like signing your rights away, but it's like somewhat to where like they like at that time when I was doing that research, like there was some chick that like was a blatant just obvious fan favorite that would have like regardless no matter how good someone else was, she should have been at least in the top 5, and like she didn't even, I think it was like she didn't even make it in the top like she made the actual show and like made it past the chairs turning around and everything, but then like didn't make it past like the third round, and it was just like it was the show like admitted to like not counting like text message votes and like a bunch of other votes, and it was just like straight up just, and in the contract it said that they were allowed to do whatever the fuck they wanted to. I mean, I get it, it's your show, like of course you're gonna do what you want to regardless, but it's like if you don't have a reason, I mean there could have been an actual reason, but they didn't talk about that. But it was just like reading that and then just reading a bunch of other stuff, and then like seeing that like when you like I researched, like I think the same article was talking about, you know, it might even had like a top 5 like why you shouldn't do the voice or some type of thing, but then it was like it showed like the numbers and who does like after the winner leaves, who does the best numbers, you know, and it's like it's all the country artists and shit. Like the first winner, like the dude did like session work with Alicia Keys, and I think he might have done stuff with like Kanye or John Legend or something like for session work. And I'm like, why the hell is this dude having to take the route of going on a TV show, you know? But then like, and I mean, I heard this dude and he was phenomenal. I mean, this dude was hitting bass notes all the way to freaking soprano notes, and I mean, this dude was jacked. Like I was like, what the fuck? But I mean, and dude was phenomenal singer, and then it was like you saw his numbers, and after his album released, nothing. Like it's just like, and it was just like they didn't put anything behind him. Like they just didn't care. Like they put it out and they're like on to the next one type shit, because they're like, nah, it's not gonna sell or whatever they thought.
Right.
But it's like worthless. And it's like if I see that, and then it's like, and at that point it was like 10 seasons or you know like 6 or something at least. And I saw the numbers and I was like, the only people that are doing anything are in the country industry for that come off as winners. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna waste my time with that. Like, like what? You're gonna change, like, and my thing was I wasn't trying to win it, plus I'm like, I believe in my skill set, but at the same time, a singer that was doing session work for Alicia Keys and John Legend or whoever it was that I saw, like, I'm not trying to win nothing, because I'm not going to beat that dude, like, you know what I'm saying, like it's like I believe in myself, but nah, like I'm not gonna sit there and be like I'm the best singer in America right now. Fuck no, I'll never say that shit. Like, I was like, plus I'm like, I'm just trying to get on TV real quick and then just use that exposure just to get my name out there.
Yeah, of course. Man, that's the thing that sucks about those types of shows, contests, reality shows.
It takes from it, man.
And with any reality show, it's like, ever since they started reality shows, it's like, oh, we have this new genre now. It's like reality, but it's like, it's not. Really,
no, it's the same thing.
Pretty much all of them are like, at least somewhat, just fucked with and scripted.
Exactly.
Like, is there any actual reality show?
Yeah, no.
Like, I mean, you
not
kidding
at
me?
all.
Yeah, and then those types of contest ones get even worse. Like you said, they're kind of pick and choosy. Like I've heard that shit with like comedians talking about that last comic standing shit too. Like it's just kind of they choose the winners, whatever.
I don't doubt it. Well, I don't know how true it is, but I've heard that The Voice knows the winners before the show even airs,
Shit.
like full on. And that was
Did they just like go separately find people that they want to just make famous voice winners, and then they put them in. All right, you're gonna go through this audition. Just make them act like a real person.
I honestly don't. I honestly don't know, but I mean, I've heard that like they'll I've heard people get calls like not even trying to do the show, like straight on, like just like the show. Like I don't know how they contact them, but you know, whatever they see, I don't know. Maybe someone's like out there scouting or whatever, or comes across like YouTube or something. Like, hey, we want you to come do the voice. I was like, I don't want to do the voice. Well, you know, whatever they talk about, but I'm like, at that point, it's like when you're writing stuff in your contract to where you're screwing people over, and I mean, and the process in itself was just crazy. Like I was like on the site or whatever, I can't remember if it was the website talking about it or if it was like that same thing, but it was like, you don't even see the actual judges until like the second day, I think it is, for like the tryout before you even like find out if you make it. It's like you do, I think there's like 2 or 3 screenings before, and then you get to the judges, and then like you have to like I think that's the first day. Like it's like 3 of them or 2 of them, and then you had to stay in town. Like you had to stay in town for 2 days. And then you had to go in front of the judges that second day, and I think it was like someone from the staff actually, like outside of like, hey, well, this person's a vocal coach. They think you're good enough to go through the next round, and then this other one or someone a little bit higher than them, and then you get to like someone that works for the actual show, and then you see the producer or whoever the person is that represents, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Sounds like a headache.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, like fuck all that shit.
Yeah, man. Hey, you know, I think I've heard, isn't there like a, or maybe they've done this before, wasn't there like a Quad Cities American Idol?
Yeah, there was.
Quad Cities Idol or some shit.
I actually, yeah, that was years ago. I actually tried out like twice, and then I didn't make the callback for the first, or I don't think it was actual. Yeah, I think there was a later date that they brought people back. I got super nervous for that first one, but then the second one, I think I might have made it, but I just didn't. No, I don't think I did, because we went over to the mall and just like didn't come back in time, so they had already, like, they said to come back at a certain time, and we get there and they had already done it. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, you guys are so...
You guys are not professional at all.
Exactly. Like, I'm like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. Like, I'm done. But then it was like, yeah, I was like reading... I mean, and like American Idol the same way. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say it's like it's obviously scripted somewhat to an extent, but then it was like, you saw the same thing. Like, you see, like... I mean, the winners, you saw how many went on and did big things. I mean, some of them, like Kelly Clarkson, and
some of them are huge, and then some of them are like, who is that again?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And it was just
most
like,
of them.
Yeah.
Well, then it was like...
It's like at first it was really popular. I think it just fell off. People were just like, nah, we don't care anymore.
Well, and my thing is, it's like, hella people still watch it, but the ones that see the bullshit, they don't watch it no more. Like, they don't care, because they're like, it's so fake that you understand that. And it's like, don't get me wrong, like, it's not knocking anyone that likes and enjoys the show, but it's just like, it's another corporate bullshit situation. Like, it's like, you know, if y'all actually gave a fuck, like, y'all wouldn't put all these stipulations in there. And then I was like reading up on one of the dudes that like won, I think in Chicago, I think it was a few, like 5-6 years ago. And the dude ended up going and doing a performance, and it was for like JetBlue, like that airliner, because they're like a sponsor for them at that time or whatever. And he didn't even get paid for it. And it was like this big
my lawyer.
Yeah, it was like this huge. It was like this huge corporate thing, like some freaking like major, like, it wasn't just like he was sitting in on a board meeting and freaking came and performed acoustically. It was like some big concert they threw for them.
Yeah.
And he didn't get paid for it. And like, and then it was like he went back and read his contract or something like that, or it was like they worded the contract correctly to where, like, you know, they misunderstood that it was like, oh, well, we can just do whatever the fuck we want to because we own you. So like, if you don't show up for this show, I'm like, that's some bullshit. Like, because it's like, I don't give a shit what you're doing. Like, this dude's a million, you know, well, he might not have been a millionaire, but whatever. But like, you're just gonna straight, like, if Jude had a tour, you're like, nope, you're gonna come and do this right now.
There's a lot of competitions out there where you'll go and do it, and then you'll pass, and then they're like, next step, you gotta fly here and pay whatever. Pay
your
what?
way.
Hold on, bro.
Like, pay how much to do the second step? Yeah. Oh, but if you get past that, then you can go to the third step, and you can pay this much more, and you can get signed with whatever. I'm just like, okay. And then nobody ever gets signed off.
Yeah. It was...
That's still gross.
Like, what?
Dude, I was...
But it happens a lot.
Yeah.
You gotta watch it out there for real.
Oh, just paying to play and all that.
Well, nobody ever wins.
I did it a few times.
Nobody ever gets signed off those or whatever they promise, and it's rare. It's rare. You gotta be careful, man. Like, people are
snakes, bro. Especially in the hip hop. Like, don't get me wrong. You know what happens with bands too, but I feel like bands can pull off a lot more without having to do pay to play, even though they're there. I know that.
It's like the hip hop artists or whatever seem to be like, they're just more thirsty for it, you know, so they're more, well, some of them might be more willing to be like, okay, I'll pay or something.
And it's like, that's the thing, because it's like, regardless, like, those promoters that do those shows, they know regardless someone's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Regardless, like, because it's like it's $350 to open for this guy.
Or even taking advantage of someone who's gullible, you know.
Yeah, and my thing is, it's like when I did it the few times that I did, like, I get why it's enticing, because especially when if you're paying to play, and say it's like, I don't know, like I'm trying to think of some of the shows that I almost did up in Iowa City, like Chris Webby and shit like that. Like some of those dudes, they draw regardless. So it's like, well, it's just an investment, and then if I sell some CDs, and it's like that's the process that people think about, you know. So it's like I understand it, but then when my friends were like, "Dude, don't do that shit. Like, this is why you shouldn't do it," I was like, I didn't think about it that way. And then it was like I've opened for Ritz and didn't have to pay,
Well,
but I was sitting here paying to open for people that were smaller than, you know what I'm saying. So it was like,
well, you're right though. Like I paid for the tickets for the Hobson show, and they picked.
right,
Like you had like. There was like a bunch of people that wanted to open, but like I knew that I would make that money back, and I did. Like you could,
exactly.
and
So it's
I'm not really, I'm not
sense.
getting, because I pretty much broke even with those tickets because I knew they would sell. Because right away, like,
Oh yeah,
and
it was Hobson.
Yeah,
he was like,
it
at
was
the
all a
peak
funk
of
volume too.
blowing up.
Yeah, he was at the peak when I did that. But like even breaking even, like, I mean, super worth it.
Yeah,
Because there's so many people, you know, and like they were all at the Blue Moose for that show. So everybody was like full attention when I went up.
Exactly, and that's the thing. It's like
was great.
especially at Blue Moose. It's like if that, like, I've seen Yellow Wolf I don't know how many times in that venue. And it's just like that place when
It
that
goes crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
It was super
packed
worth
in
it.
there.
Even
You
if
played
I
there?
didn't break even, I was on board.
Actually, me and Fantana are playing there tomorrow, opening
sick.
for Milo. I don't know what the crowd will be like, but like here, like I know, like in Denver and a few of the other spots, he's probably sold out more than I actually remember off the top of my head. But I know like his Denver show like sold out or was like borderline about to sell out. So we'll see how Iowa City does it.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I'm expecting somewhat of a crowd, so that'll
It
be
should be.
regardless. Yeah, Blue Moose is dope.
I love that
Beautiful
place.
venue.
Hell yeah. Now, bro, are you still currently like releasing music and performing, or are you focused more on Soultru now?
I am focused more on him. I am gonna put out an EP because so much changed in my life since last time. I can't remember the date of my last album, but I pulled away from music because I transferred jobs, and like I kind of pulled away from music and like for like 2 years, and it was just depressing. I was like, I got to be back around music. And I ended up going down to Florida and everything. But there's like so much has changed, and I look at life like in so many different ways now. So I'm going to make an EP, but I'm not really trying to be like a traveling artist type. I'm not really trying to go back and do the stage stuff as much.
Yeah.
I want to just sell the album and, you know, maybe get some cool merchandise or something, but it's not like as far as like touring and everything, that's stuff I want Soultru to do, you know, because
Definitely.
that's what he wants to just do for a living, you know.
Yeah.
I was always trying to get my hands in the business side and stuff, but yeah. So yeah, I have a little EP coming out.
Hell yeah.
I haven't started it yet because I'm like super picky right now on exactly what beats, and
Oh yeah.
I want to make it sound like a mix between Nine Inch Nails, Pretty Hate Machine, and DMX. It's Dark and Hell is Hot. So it's gonna be like, I don't know.
Hell yeah. That would be
Different.
sick for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
So yeah, so you're looking to do lots of touring in the future and everything. Is that
Oh,
do you see that as like your main source of income, that merch, or do you think you get much from music sales itself, or just
Like, well, last night, like, was like I hadn't sold a CD for a while. Like, there's a couple I actually have to send out to some people. I just I thought I'd sent them out and then forgot and like left them somewhere. But then, but like last night, like I sold like, what was it, like 5 CDs?
I don't know, because there's like 2 people that rushed up and bought like 4 or 5 right there.
Holy shit.
Or 2,
Yeah,
3,
like I got
4.
off stage and like was talking to people, and then he like walks up and hands me money. I was like, what the fuck is it?
Yeah.
He's like, I sold some CDs. I was like, well,
Hell yeah.
damn.
One of them came up and they're like, how much are these? I don't care. I want both. And just gave me $20 and ran off. And I'm like,
what? Nice.
yeah. I was like,
That's a good sign.
That's
yeah. Like, and
That's
then-
happened. Back out in Waterloo, some dude gave me 20 for freaking the EP I had at that time. It was only $5. He's like, no, keep
Yeah.
it. I was like, bro,
yeah,
here,
they were
take
excited.
more CDs.
They were very
okay?
excited
Yeah,
last
shit.
night to buy
I feel
it.
better about this. But yeah, like so, like I mean, like right now, I mean, I'm still working for FedEx, but I'm working towards like at least to where I can supplement, you know, like half my income off of music. Which, I mean, in all honesty, I feel like by the end of the year, I feel like we could do some damage. Like especially with a couple of the opportunities coming up, like that's gonna like really boost a lot of shit. Like,
yeah, we feel next year is gonna be really big.
Yeah.
With what we have already rolling this year, and we actually will have more things to aim the merchandise towards and marketing like pretty soon. Like hopefully we'll have this big announcement pretty soon, like real soon.
Probably within the next week or so.
Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah.
Hell yeah, stay tuned out there. Big things coming.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Now, you said you went by Riplak?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Rest in peace, Lynn and Kremer, from my mom.
Nice. That's awesome.
Because, I mean, that's just...
That's a cool sounding name.
Yeah, I did. Well, it was supposed to be... I got the tattoo R.I.P.L.A.K. on my back. Cool. And that's where it came from, because I was like, I want to get that on my back. And I was like, Riplak. And I was like, you know what? That might be a good rap name.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool, yeah.
It stuck. People liked it, you know, and it has that meaning because, like I said, that helped me through everything. Sorting out... I wish... It's hard for me to tell people how to get through certain things because I write it out and sort it out, you know. It sorts my mind out, helps me through things, but, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And it helps keep her... I'd put, like, a song from my mom on, like, every album, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's just keeping her name alive, you know.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It helped me. You can tell, like, I listened to my old music, and I was really angry. But you can tell, like, the growth and the happiness coming more as they...
That's great.
Progress.
That's a cool thing to see with an artist, too,
Yeah.
if you follow their discography, you know. See
That's kind of
awesome
where the
changes
idea
and
came
shit,
from
yeah.
for the autobiography.
Nice.
I was like, I was like angry. Like, I was just like, wow. And then I listened to, like, my last song I did about my mom was about, like, forgiveness, and it's just this beautiful song, you know, like, and that's how I want to remember her, you know.
Hell yeah.
I don't want to think about all the other stuff that goes with it, you know.
Right. Did you say you were already starting the autobiography? You have started?
I've written a lot. I've written, like, I don't know, I'm guessing, like, chapter 4 or something. I haven't touched it again since I've been in Florida, but...
Do you know when you might get that out, or is that, like, going to be a long-term project, probably?
It's something I kind of work on when feel...
Like certain emotions and stuff.
Yeah.
And then even if you came out with it, I'm sure with what you guys got going on, eventually you have to come out with part 2 or something.
Yeah.
Right? A lot more
Well, that's the
stories
other
and shit.
thing. Like, that's a whole conversation in itself of my story. When I went to school, there was a film student that just heard a piece of my life story and was like, I want to make a movie about you.
Nice.
And so I started writing about my life, not the music autobiography thing.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I didn't get that far, and I was like, that's kind of too hard to write right now, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just like...
Just opening those memories back up. And shit.
It's just, yeah, and it's like trying to remember certain things, and I was just like, I don't want to think about this right now.
Right.
And I'm usually cool about it, you know, I can openly talk about stuff that happened in my life, but, like, there's some parts where I was like, yeah. And then I kind of like, should I ask my sister if I'm remembering that right? Or, like, you know, like, and I don't want to bring all the crazy stuff that happened to my mom and stuff to them. But I did have my oldest sister just ask if I want to write a book with her about that, because I remember, I'm the youngest, but I remember, like, everything.
Nice.
Just memorizing music my whole life, and
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
always do new jobs. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that guy, and blah blah blah. Like, when my mom's situation is just like I want to do a podcast, and I'm gonna interview, like, artists about their creative process and stuff, and just that I know. And then there's, like, certain questions I'll ask everybody, but in the beginning, I'm gonna kind of tell my story of my mom in chunks, and just. Because there's just so many stories with everything with that.
Right.
So.
Oh, yeah, that'd be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out, you know. I'm trying to not kill myself, because like, honestly, like, first priority is Soultru, and he knows that. Like, we're so optimistic right now, but I'm trying not to,
it's hard
like.
Not to be. Like,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I mean, I'm actually going
yeah.
to work, like, a welding job tomorrow, and I got a freelance writing job, and like I just, it's like so much. I'm just trying not to like
which is hard to do, especially like when you're motivated. You're like, oh yeah, I need to sleep. Shit.
Yeah, and I didn't even eat yet today. Like it's like like there's days I'm just like, I haven't eaten. I should probably stop what I'm doing and eat. And then I'll like get into something else and be like, I should probably do this too.
I have a terrible habit of like not eating like all day, especially if I'm like if I'm not doing a show or something that night, then it's fine. Like it's just a natural day. But it's like if I'm working and I have a show that night, then it's just like
you have to like force yourself to do it.
Well, it's like in the back of my head, it's like I'm just trying to make sure I get off work on time and not have to like pull a later shift or whatever. And then it's like some days I'm like shit. Like the last 2 Fridays I'm like, crap, I need to eat something. Like I haven't even freaking ate all day. Like I've been drinking water and staying hydrated and like had snacks, but like not an actual, like, just something to fill me up, because, like, I know I'm going to drink beer and stuff, so...
You just be like, well, I guess I'm fasting now.
Yep. So I'm just like, man, it's just like, that's, and that, like, and, like, with touring coming up soon, too, like, I mean, that, like, that one won't be so bad, just because it's, like, that second week, it'll be, like, there'll be, like, 3 or 4 shows, so it's, like, I'll have a couple days to where I can actually just relax and just, like, adjust to it a little bit more and everything too. But like I have friends that tour all the time that's just like they always, you know, they have to have certain things to where they make sure they take care of themselves like while they're on the road and stuff, so that way like that way they don't either like get sick or like where you see like some of these artists, they'll like get dehydrated or something because they're so busy and constantly doing something, like whether it's like interviews or like stuff like all kinds of stuff beforehand or like partying and then waking up and doing it all over again and then forgetting to actually, you know, eat and hydrate and all this other stuff, you know. So.
Yeah, fucking keep yourself safe out there.
Oh, for damn
like,
sure.
Especially as a singer, you gotta protect that voice.
Yeah, no.
I think you might have to enter into a vow of silence.
Yep. Right. It'll be so hard because it's like, especially because he can't go now, so like I'm gonna have to do some talking for sure. I gotta make sure that these.
You're gonna have to be the talker when you're along. Just save the voice.
I do. I definitely talk to people. But he came down to Florida when I was down there. Yeah. And he did a show at Full Sail, and every day.
Fun.
Well, we did a few shows, but I was like, I got him the show at Full Sail, and like every day that week I was like, hey, don't talk.
Yep.
I was like, drink your
and I hella did lose my voice for a few days, or like I was like on the cusp of losing my. So I think, what was it? I didn't get sick. I think it was just like
allergies.
We had party. Yeah, because the humidity and stuff down there was like hella fucking with me.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because it was like there were a few times like we went out drinking and stuff, but it wasn't from it was like a week after, and it was just like motherfucker.
Yeah, every day I was like, drink your green tea and honey, and I was like. Just like making sure he was like.
Yeah, we got lucky.
I was pitching him at school so much that I was like, I talked you up, dude. It's like you gotta bring it, and he killed it.
When it was like day of, I was scared because it was like I was still like I could still feel it there, and then I was like, shit, I got on the stage and started singing, and it was fine. I was like, oh my god.
Sold some CDs too.
Oh yeah, it was
people
crazy.
Loved it.
Yeah, it was crazy. That's why I'm like, man, like I just need so much more of this because it's like you know, it's just a grind. Like, you just gotta keep doing it and just. If anybody it's like, if you got dreams, man, don't give up on them, for real. Like, I'm 30.
Like, you gotta be happy.
Or 31,
man.
So,
You gotta do what makes you happy. So I pull myself away from music, I'll never do that again. In some way or form, I'm gonna be involved with music.
Yeah, do what you love, man. Like, I know people that have had opportunities, man, and, like, do some shit and get themselves out there, and parents came in and were like, no, like, you went to school for this, like, go do it, and just put, you know, opportunities that people would kill for, you know, and just shut it down just out of respect for their parents.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a situation I could never put, like, you know, never put someone in like that, like, you know, like, because at the end of the day, like, someone else, your dreams are your dreams regardless. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I guess there's certain situations like, hey, like, I don't want you being a stripper or something no more, daughter. Like, please do something else. Like, you went to school. Like, use that. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking shit about strippers if that's what people do.
Good money.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, I respect it. I'm just like, damn, like, it'd be hard for me to be cool with it, though, you know?
Yeah.
Cause you know, just be the fatherly thing, I guess, for me.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that. Here's some money. Like,
Man,
but
definitely gotta
dreams.
do what you love.
Exactly.
For sure. Like, man,
if
people
you love stripping, then strip.
Yeah, like, I mean, even if you're like, I don't know, even if you're working a job, it's like, but if you love to paint, it's like you gotta paint when you get home. Or else
Yeah.
it's like like, well, I wish I could do what I love. Maybe you might not be able to do it for a complete living, but it's like, you know, you gotta do what you love. It's like mandatory. Like, you have to.
What are you doing? I'm drawing the person that pissed me off at work today.
Yeah.
This is what I see you as. Like, I'm sorry that I did this to you to piss you off. See, I changed our relationship.
There you go.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, fucking the thing with art, like artists, musicians, any like creative type of person, a lot of times, you know, you can come from a really rough past a lot of times, and a lot of fucking grief and hardship and pain and shit, but then just turn it into something beautiful. And I think that's what you boys are doing. I think anyone that like hears you, they know that shit, you know. Motherfuckers buying CDs like crazy and shit. I think you're gonna have good shit happening if you.
I've been making people cry recently. I'm not trying to. I'm sorry
No,
for all those I've made cry.
We're gonna make you cry if you're listening. You're gonna
saw me crying. No, I'm kidding.
You didn't see no.
They might have cried during this podcast,
right?
Maybe. Who knows? But
everybody's sensitivity level is a little different, man. I always tell people, they're like, so many people are like, oh, well, the world's so sensitive. Well, yeah, like, some people are tougher than others. Like, you have to understand that. Like, when I was a kid and, like, even up until high school, I would cry over shit that I shouldn't have been, like, that really, today I would look, like, I wouldn't look back and talk shit, but, like, I'd look back and be like, that was not worth your time.
Well, especially as a kid, it's like your emotions can be crazy, and just you don't know what's going on. A lot of times, you just what's going on? Why am I acting like this? Or
so it's like there's a lot of times where I'll see people, like, especially on Facebook, like, so many heartless motherfuckers out there. You're just like, dude, do you understand? Like, not everyone's got the backbone that you do. Like, stop being a freaking total asshole right now.
That's a whole nother conversation too. Fucking internet conversation. It's like, God, it's so crazy. Like, I talk about this all the time. Just like, you know, we've never been in a position like this before, being able to communicate instantaneously all over the fucking world.
It's freaking ridiculous.
And it's super easy and super fun for some people to just stay behind a computer screen and just talk shit and do whatever, just because that's, for one, they might just be fucking around. They're bored at work in a cubicle, and they're gonna just fuck with people, or they're just or they're fucking with people in a way where it's like they're really fucking fucked up themselves. Some shit they're not.
And
like,
they mean exactly what they just posted on that line.
And it's like, a lot of times probably could say that it's a reflection of themselves, you know. If they're trying to
I've like unfollow or delete people like that, and oh my gosh, it makes you feel so much better.
It's 2019. We're unfollowing all these negative people. Get them out of here. Get them out of here.
Like, it's so nice not seeing it. I'm just like, I don't even
like that's one thing I'm like not looking forward to if I ever get to like a bigger space with my music. But it's like at the same time,
social media, you're not looking forward to, or like
not that, just like the bullshit and trolls, you know, or the people that mean it but are just like unstable and just don't understand how life is, you know, like.
The best thing is just post your shit and walk away. Don't read the comments.
And that's the thing though, like, because the thing, like, for me, it's like, it's hard not to, like, don't get me wrong, like,
if you got like to a point of like hella famous, there's like millions of comments and shit, it's like you can't sitting up all night reading through this shit. What the fuck
I
do you
feel
call
like
me?
my dumbass would, especially if I'm drunk, like, I'll hella be reading them. Like,
I feel pretty chill, like, to where I would be able to brush it off, but then I don't know, they're gonna say some shit. It's really gonna be like, what? How dare you?
Or it'd be like something personal, or like someone you actually met and they just hate you. Now. You're like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you?
But I mean, I feel like if I was reading just comments from anonymous people and they're just talking shit, I'd probably laugh, maybe. But
that's probably.
It's still probably not good for your mental health. Don't go down that rabbit hole too far. But
like, I'd probably remember that most of the time, and it'd be like something serious or something that someone took out of context, and I'd be like, look, like, I get where you're coming from, but fuck you. Like, it's like people don't get why some of these celebrities are just like straight snapping out on people on social media. Like, guess what? Like, most of those people are still, they're humans regardless.
Yeah.
And they're going to react the way they react because at some point, everyone has a boiling point. And, like, you know, like, some people are great at it. Like, Adam Sandler stays out of the spotlight and shit.
Sure,
like,
yeah.
Like, even, which is weird. Like, not weird, but it's just like, you're Adam Sandler. How do you stay out of the spotlight? Like, that's just crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but I guess, you know, behind the scenes.
Well, he
like,
was in the spotlight when he was younger. Now he's just older, and he's like, you can step away from that.
yeah, he just got hella, he's straight. He got the royalty check still rolling.
He doesn't have to go out and plug his shit. He don't give a fuck. People are gonna watch it. People are gonna buy it.
Mm-hmm.
He's Adam Sandler.
Plus, I feel like it's one of those things too, to where like he's never really done, like, at least that I can remember, he's never done like a, not even to say like a Kanye thing, but like just anything that like the media was gonna feed off of that was like negative, to where they're just like, oh, we're gonna blast the fuck out of you now. And just,
they love doing that.
Yeah, and it's just like, so I feel like it's like they don't fuck with him because he's so nice and genuine 24/7 that it's just like, they're like, it's not that they're bored, but it's like they respect him so much that it's like they just leave him alone.
Those are the true successful people that got to that point of success to where they're completely unfuckwithable. Shit of like, you can't rattle them in that way. Or you're not gonna go after them like a fucking media frenzy or something.
Like, I got mind control over. Oh yeah, I did Waterboy.
Definitely. Yeah, Christ. And then those people like are at people that are a huge level of fame. It's like they're going through like crazy shit, just dealing like just their whole life is weird.
Yeah,
you know, everyone's a yes man and shit who's like around you, and it's just.
And it's like
seeing all this weird shit online, people hating on you, but then I don't know.
Well, it's like my thing is like if I ever get to a point where I'm just hella famous, like all people around me are my actual friends or like associates of my friends.
Yeah, you gotta keep the close circle of actual friends.
Because it's like even if I have like hella people like working with me or you know just doing shit for me and helping everything, like fuck the bullshit. Like there's hella genuine people out here. It's just like. That'll tell you straight up, like, look, like, yeah, some of them might just say yes to a lot of shit, but at the same time, you're still going to have real ones around you, like, fuck it.
Hope to God you have real ones around you.
Man, trust me, it's like, the more we build our shit, the more it's just going to, you know, it's just going to stay genuine all the time, and
definitely.
Then you got to make sure you bring in the right fucking people. Like, people change and shit, too, but sometimes you just got to adapt and just run with it, I guess.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you, boys, for both being here.
No problem.
It's been lovely.
Thank you, brother.
This afternoon.
Appreciate it having us on. This is awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
fun.
Super fun. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I know you guys. Like I said, everyone that knows your shit, I think they know you guys are gonna see some good shit. You're gonna see some great things coming.
We're trying.
Fuck yeah. So tell everyone how the fuck they get a hold of you.
Just hit me up on social media or follow me on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, SOULTRU.
Go to the Twitter too. Yeah, we're gonna grow the Twitter.
Yeah. Let's grow the Twitter.
What's your
Twitter
handle and shit? Tell them.
SOULTRU. Just look up Soultru, and then I mean they'll think some of them are different because I could not get just the exact handle that I wanted. It does suck, but I mean we'll be good. We'll figure it out.
Right. You got a website or anything? Or
yeah, actually, Soultru. Soultru Music. Yeah, SoultruMusic.com.
Nice. Are you promoting anything or just
no?
Just Soultru Music.
Mainly Soultru right now. Yeah.
I'm not self-centered. Everyone's just trying to make me that way, man.
I'm getting a new like portfolio and website and stuff. So.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, for now it's the Soultru show.
Fuck yeah, Soultru and Riplak.
Yeah.
Doing great shit. Fucking stay tuned on that. Big announcement soon.
MOB.
Yeah. Thanks again, boys.
Yeah.
Peace.
Later. This was fun.